Hello everybody, welcome to UKPM Survival and Outdoors here on YouTube, and in this latest UKPrepperman video I will be sharing with you 10 things which I think should be considered during lockdown. Stay tuned. So yes, in this video I will be sharing with you 10 things which I think should be considered during this period of lockdown. Now I use the term lockdown, but in truth we are starting to get back to something resembling some sort of normality. But I'm using the time while I have it just to get in front. So these are 10 things which for me are important to do. There might be 10 completely different things for yourself, so put me a comment in the box, and let me know what is important to you in this period of lockdown. I use this term lockdown, but as I say, moving forward, hopefully things will be in a better place. So without further ado, the garden, number one. Now June is an excellent time to be going out and getting things planted. Certain items I was able to start off as seeds, whether or not that was in the house, just on a windowsill, or in the greenhouse. Simple matter of just planting those veg plants out into the garden and let them grow their natural course. However, I have been doing some actual growing from seeds straight into the ground. Things like lettuce, salad, that sort of thing can be done as what's called successive sowing. So rather than sow everything in one go, just put some seeds in, and 2 weeks later maybe put some more in. Then as you pick, they will cut and come again, as they call it. So it's making sure that there is a sustainable supply of vegetables. It also means that you're not relying too much on what is in the supermarket, because as we all know, sometimes there can be a lack of stock. Whether or not there could be a food shortage, I don't know, but from my point of view, it just makes sense to have that little bit of a backup, not necessarily for long term or indefinite, but certainly to get to ourselves maybe a few days, a few weeks, maybe a month in front if there was any sort of potential problem. So from my point of view, I am lucky we've got the space, but you don't need to have a big garden. You can grow things even if you haven't got a garden. Just maybe some pots or planters, sow some seeds. But really now June is the sort of last realistic time to be doing that sort of thing. So good idea, get out in the garden and get those things planted, and then we can all grow some vegetables to sustain ourselves. Number two is the news, or lack of it. Look, there's lots of things going on in the world at the moment, and especially here in the UK, we're very reliant on the news. There's lots of things like mobile apps where you can get daily news updates, or updates every hour sometimes. It can all be just a bit too much. There's a lot of theories going around at the moment, a lot of opinions. Sometimes those opinions can get intermingled with the facts, and it's not clear exactly what is being said. So while I do want to stay in touch with reality and still have some involvement with the news and what is going on in current affairs, I have dialed back a little bit. So to get some sanity, rather than keep watching the news and looking at every single thing as it happens minute by minute, hour by hour, I'm having a catch up as and when I need to, and then leaving it alone. And I think sometimes that is the best way to do things, because you can just drive yourself completely balmy by looking at the news and getting involved too much in the opinions that are getting thrown around at the moment. Number three is finances. Being realistic, currently in the UK, more than 25% of the working population has been furloughed or on the jobs retention scheme as provided by the government. And what that basically is, in simple terms, employers can't afford to keep workers on, so they lay the workers off, and the government, through the employer, pays the wages up to 80% of that worker's wage. Now employers sometimes can top that up, whether or not many are. Self-employed people do get a similar sort of grant, but that grant has been extended and is going to end after the summertime, and the jobs retention scheme is going to end October. After that there will be some major changes. Being realistic, there could be job losses. How safe is a job? How safe is anybody's job? Things to think about. Can we save money now? Can we budget? Can we look towards the future in terms of where the money is going to come from? I know it's difficult at the moment, but it's worthwhile just saving a few pounds here or there to plan further down the line, because there's still 6 months of this year to run, and those last 3 months they are going to be challenging. I can see it. So for me, some consideration towards that is really, really beneficial at the moment. Trying to make sure that things are budgeted, maybe save some money along the way. So number four is free stuff. We all like free stuff. Getting something for free is about as good as it gets if you're trying to save money. How do we do it? Well, in the UK there is a thing called Free Cycle, where you can put your details in online. You can view posts made by people who are either wanting to sell something or wanting to buy something. Find what you want, send them a message, agree to pick it up, happy days. That is as easy as it is. The other thing to do, check out with your neighbours, because I was lucky enough to speak to a neighbour who was getting rid of some pallets, and I was able to get some pallets for some projects. Yes, I've got to break them down, but you can get timber free of charge. Also, you can look online, you can look in free ads in your local papers, you can ask around, you can also forage, you can scavenge. But that is going a step further, and some people don't feel comfortable about that, but it is something to think about. Have to be sensible, of course, because what you might be picking up that's being left out might not be yours, and somebody might not be very happy about it. So do check it out and be sensible if that's what you are going to do. But certainly, getting stuff for free, if you want to save money, is really, really good. Number 5 is maintenance. With the days being nice and long, now is the ideal time to get out and get those jobs done in the garden, around the house. Sort your property out. Anything which looks like it is going to break, get it either fixed or order a part, and then when it does break, you have that part ready to go. Unfortunately, things normally break when the shops are shut and no spares are available, so it's worthwhile just doing a scheme of ongoing maintenance rather than wait until something literally is falling apart before rushing out to then do an emergency repair. And while we're on in terms of repairing, check your kit, because coming up to camping season again, and when this is all over, hopefully we can all get out and about a bit more, making sure that your kit is serviceable, making sure that things like tents, zips on sleeping bags, all sorts of things, everything is perfect, working, and everything is back to normal. I believe that garages are open now, so if your car is in need of a service, then again, getting the car serviced, get it maintained, other jobs that need to be done, get those done nicely while the weather is good. The days are long in that there is time to do those repairs and maintenance. So number 5 is maintenance. At number 6 is get outside. Sounds obvious, but with the weather being nice, now is the ideal time to get out, get some fresh air, get some air in the lungs, some sun on our backs, and enjoy the time out. Whether or not that is in your garden, or whether or not you've got access to public spaces where you can go, obviously being sensible with the current situation, but getting out, getting about, getting some exercise. And we're doing a lot of garden camping at the moment because it's opportunity for a bit of lads and dads time, get the fire stoked up, the food on, and then just sit and chill out, maybe a few beers as well, and have some fun outdoors. But whether or not you want to go out and do any sports or activities or anything like that, football, swing ball, anything like that, it's just about getting outside and getting some exercise and some fresh air. So number 6 is get outdoors. Number 7 is family time. At the moment, because people have spent a lot of time indoors, you can get cabin fever as a term. You can get a bit sick of seeing the same 4 walls. So getting out with the family and spending some time with the family can help you bond as a unit and help you get through these difficult times. It's really, really important to remember that the family is possibly the biggest asset at the moment, and yes, people can fall out with each other and tensions can rise, but if you spend some time with the family doing activities, getting everybody involved, whether or not that's any sort of craft work or any sort of activities in the garden or going out for walks or picnics or times to the park, it's worthwhile getting out with the family, spend some time together as a unit and get through this time. So that is number 7, time with the family. In at number 8 is health and fitness, and it's fair to say that when the lockdown came, it was very, very difficult because everyone wanted to be outdoors and nobody could. Then we were allowed to go out and do some exercising once a day, so now things have been relaxed a bit more. Going out and doing some fitness, going out and doing some runs, some jogging, some cycling, whatever is worthwhile doing just to get the heart beating, the air into the lungs, and you feel a lot better afterwards. So I've been doing a lot of cycling, a lot of walking, we've been going out as a family, doing sports and that side of things. So whether or not it's in your garden or you've got access to an outdoor space, getting outdoors, getting some exercise and health and fitness is ideal. Also, diet. Worthwhile making sure that the diet is on top, you're eating the right fruit, veg and all the nutrients. We've been doing a lot of home baking, which is a lot better than buying stuff, and let's be fair, you're saving money again by doing that. And it's also about making sure that you're eating the right proportions of food according to the exercise that you are doing. So if you're doing less, then you need to eat less. If you're doing more, you can afford maybe to eat a little bit more. And that is really what that is all about with health and fitness. So for things like people who want to do a lot more fitness, you have got access now to be able to go out. So get outside, do some cycling, do some walking or running, whatever you feel comfortable with. But that is health and fitness at number 8. Now number 9 is practicing skills. If we're all honest with ourselves, we could probably all do with a bit more practice in certain things. Whether or not that be a hobby that has been forgotten or moved on from, or a skill that we were once proficient at, but now we're struggling with. So for me, it is knot tying. I used to be really good at knots, but I do use them so little now that I need to refer to prompt cards every time I do them. I've got a terrible memory when it comes to things like that. Maybe it's using bungees too much, I don't know. Now I'm finding that by practicing these knots and things like the prussiks and the bow lines and all that sort of thing, along with some of the other ones, there's one called the Farman friction hitch, which is an absolutely excellent knot to be able to use when you're rigging things up. But without practicing that, I've got to refer to something each and every time. So now I've been doing a lot more practice and I'm getting a bit better at that sort of thing. So that at number 9 is learning and practicing skills. And finally, number 10. Be honest, when they announced that there may be the chance that we would have to quarantine for 14 days, how many of us had enough provisions to last for that period of time? There was lots of publicity with people rushing out and buying things lastminute.com. There was also a lot of publicity about things getting thrown away and food left to rot. Drop a comment in the box if you found that you were lacking in certain things, or you bought maybe too much of one thing that you didn't use. It's always good to see, and people do get some inspiration off these comments as well. But thinking forward, is there going to be another time? Is there going to be a next time? Is there going to be another occurrence of this situation at the moment further down the line? Have we got some things that we could learn for the future? I know I have, and there's some changes that I'm going to make to my own plans here. So have a little think, evaluate your preps, and make sure that you do have the right things in the right quantity. Where you go online, you put your details in, you can view posts that people put on for... So, looking back, when you bought things... Thanks for the sub. We are steadily starting to get back to something resembling a normality, but it is an 14-day period. Drop a comment in the box if you thought that you either ran out of things or had too much of some and not enough of another. Now, when I say about free stuff, I mean buying stuff differently. What do I need to do if another situation happens? We never ever know, do we? I live on the busiest street, you know. So there we have it. That is the 10 things that I wanted to share with you during this period of lockdown. And I say lockdown, but hopefully things are coming to the end of that now. We can all move forward and we can get back to some sort of normality. But I hope it's given you some inspiration. If there's things you're thinking about at the moment about, you know, what to do or what maybe needs to be done just to get through the next stage and move back to some sort of stage of normality. Anyway, remember you can of course follow me on Instagram, where you will see additional content and regular channel updates. And of course, if you have enjoyed this video, hopefully you'll like these videos as well. As always, please like, share and subscribe at the bottom, and of course any comments, love to hear them. Until next time, take care, thanks for watching, bye for now.